Hi, this is Alan Unell, and this series of videos is called Healthcare Advocacy. We have three topics today: long COVID, an update on Medicaid unwinding, and a real heartbreaker story on a federal summer lunch program. And there's going to be an action on that one. In this series of videos, we address problems in the healthcare system and take actions, which are pretty easy to do, to try and make the system as good as we can make it. Okay. Down below in the description box is going to be a link to the Healthcare Advocacy newsletter, which is the text for today's talk. In there will be all of the links to news stories and articles and studies and actions that I mentioned, and references. Okay, so let's get started. Long COVID. Many people who get COVID recover and go on with their lives fairly normally. However, about 6% of adults do not recover as quickly as others, and they get what's called long COVID. Some of the symptoms are coughing, fatigue, muscle and joint pain, loss of smell or taste, brain fog, sleeplessness. There's a whole host of them. In fact, there's a link, remember down below, from the CDC that indicates all the known symptoms of long COVID. It is a really long list. Anyway, often patients are advised to start exercising to get their bodies back in shape once they're pretty much done with the disease. A fair number of those patients, though, report extreme fatigue and brain fog or confusion, especially after they exercise, far beyond any usual tiredness or soreness that would accompany a normal trip to the gym or normal exercise. These symptoms of exhaustion or post-exertional malaise, as it's called, are a hallmark of long COVID and similar other complex illnesses like chronic fatigue syndrome or ME/CFS. CFS is chronic fatigue syndrome. Now, research published just this last month, this is January of 2024, in Nature Communications, and of course the link will be in that newsletter, gives new weight to that assessment that this is a for real thing. By taking biopsies from long COVID patients before and after exercising, scientists in the Netherlands constructed a startling picture of widespread abnormalities in the muscle tissue that could explain this severe reaction to physical activity. Researchers found that mitochondria are starved for oxygen. Those are the cell power plants. No wonder people are tired and confused. Moreover, there are microclots that have been found in the muscles. A South African study, related, found that these are likely to have shown up due to a damaged vascular system that's actually transporting less oxygen. Okay, got it? Less oxygen, the muscles aren't going to recover as well, so you're going to be extra sore, and you have less oxygen floating around in the body. That means you're going to have brain fog and be extra tired. It makes perfect sense. Anyway, I want to make a point here, and that's often that medical professionals dismiss fatigue and muscle pain as purely psychological. I know they've done it to friends and acquaintances of mine who had severe viral infections, and they just said, it's all in your mind. It's not all in your mind. It just isn't so. Now, some professionals indicate a more gentle return to exercise is warranted, and you should be patient with yourselves. Apparently, this can take quite some time to get over. No medications have been identified yet to assist. More to come. Now, there is a new variant of COVID that's making the rounds. Make sure you get vaccinated. Let's get on to the next topic, Medicaid unwinding. It seems that just a few days ago, I was writing, and I think we had a video that indicated that 13.3 million of us lost our Medicaid insurance after the pandemic was ended. The Kaiser Family Foundation estimate 1 week later is that, it's up 1 million people. It's now 14.377 million people have lost Medicaid. And about 70% of those people removed, I think that's about 9 million people, were removed for procedural issues like paperwork, or didn't answer the phone, or they don't have a phone. So between 9 and 10 million of us have no health insurance for paperwork and other issues. You know what? If we had universal health care, that fixes this right away, and you and I could be talking about something else really important. The only positive thing that came out of this so far is that about 27 million people did manage to get themselves re-enrolled in Medicaid. Let's leave it there. Let's talk about summer lunch money for children. The U.S. Department of Agriculture announced last week on Wednesday that nearly 21 million children will receive expanded grocery benefits this summer in all but 15 states. The U.S. Department of Agriculture said that summer 2024 will be the first launch of its new permanent grocery program for children called Summer Electronic Benefit Transfer. States will give eligible families $40 a month for each child under this new program, which Congress approved in 2022. There's actually was a pilot program for this thing going back 10 or 12 years to make sure that it actually worked. So this is not really new. Summer grocery benefits are becoming a reality for many communities across the nation and for tens of millions of children who will receive the nutrition they need to grow, learn, and thrive, Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack said. You know, it's really important. Part of the importance is that so many of these kids rely on getting a meal at school. So this will help them while they're out of school. Just hold that thought. So 35 states, 5 territories, 4 Native American tribes opted into the program. Yay. The USDA said the program would cover 70% of the eligible children in its inaugural launch, and it hopes to continue expanding. However, 15 states did not opt into the program, and this is the sad part. They're generally Republican states, and Republican officials have been saying that their states don't need the funds or that they don't have the capability to run this kind of program. Everybody else does, but they don't. Those states are, listen closely, Alabama, Alaska, Florida, Georgia, Iowa, Idaho, Louisiana, Mississippi, Nebraska, South Carolina, South Dakota, Texas, Vermont, and Wyoming. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds, a Republican, suggested that the state did not need the program, pointing to the high rate of childhood obesity as a reason why they should not expand grocery benefits to children. That is just shameful because obesity goes hand in hand with poverty and increased exposure to ultra-processed foods. There was at least one Republican governor who chose not to participate because he said, I don't believe in welfare. Okay, let's take action on this one. If you live in any of those states, it would be a great idea to let your legislators and governor know that a little help can mean a lot to hungry children. I'm going to post links in the description section, and of course it's in the newsletter, so you can get in touch with your governor and your elected representatives at the state level. And you can say something like this. Here's a template message for you. Hi, my name is, insert your name. I'm your constituent. I live in this zip code. I just learned that our state will not access the federally provided electronic benefit transfer program that will provide some food assistance to needy and hungry children. I want you to turn this around and help those children. You were elected to help all the people of our state. Now here's your chance. Thank you. Okay, that's it for today. Share, like, and subscribe. Subscribe to the daily newsletter. Get it in your inbox. Talk to you next time.